So Miss Ruggles slow to commence, and galloping shortly after the start, Tennessee Gemma, and the fancied runner Summer Nights came out highballing. Summer Nights has gone to the early lead, about 8 metres in front of Made to Skip, getting around and up in front now of Tish's Beauty, who's won one. Back on the inside, the pole marker Selectivator from Lady Wingate, 15 metres away Miss Ruggles. Another 15 then to Countess Min, and Tennessee Gem refusing to pace. Oh, there's for trouble here, one's down. It was going pretty roughly, Tish's Beauty, and it's now gone to the track, but the driver's okay and the horse will be all right. He's about to try and get it up and free it from its gear as they come down the straight now. And the leader is Summer Nights, and the favourite shows the way from Made to Skip, working to the leader's wheel. Back third on the inside, Selectivator. One out, one back is Lady Wingate. 8 metres away, Miss Ruggles, and 5 off then to Countess Min. And Tennessee Gem is out of the race, and the other one that crashed looks as though it'll be okay, Tish's Beauty, but the driver definitely all right. On the turn into the back they travel now, and here the leader still Summer Nights, the one to run down. 3 metres in front of Made to Skip, galloping Miss Ruggles. Countess Min had to check. Selectivator third now on the inside of Lady Wingate, getting around them. A break in the field to Countess Min, shrugging off Miss Ruggles, and the other two are out of the event. Along the back they travel. Now this horse is up, incidentally, Tish's Beauty, and looks okay. And the leader is Summer Nights. By 3 metres Made to Skip. Now getting up between them, Countess Min. Lady Wingate tried to get around them 3 deep, but can't go on. And then Selectivator, and forget about Miss Ruggles. On the top circle they travel, and the leader Summer Nights being revved up though. 3 metres in front of Made to Skip. Now 4 metres clear. Countess Min to third around Selectivator. 5 metres clear the leader now. And Summer Nights is well clear, drawing away from them in the run down the line. It's well clear, Summer Nights, and puts up a most impressive debut and lands some good wages. Punters and favourite backers off to a winning start, Kilmore Cup Day. Summer Nights goes on to score 15 metres to Made to Skip. Selectivator, it got third just ahead of Countess Min. A healthy break in the field to Lady Wingate, followed by Miss Ruggles. Tennessee Gem failed to complete the course, and the other one, which crashed on the top circle the first time round, Tish's Beauty. Driver Graham Lang is back aboard, and he's now starting to amble down the straight on her. So everybody concerned, both parties, driver and horse okay. Now the winner of the first, number 3, Summer Nights, was well supported by Adios Victor from Somebody's Image, trained and driven by Graham Wilson, and a 2-year-old Bay filly raced by P.S. Gleeson. Place, number 8 Made to Skip, 90 cents. Number 1 Selectivator, 85. Number 3 90 and 60. Number 8 90. Number 1 85. The Quinella $2.15. The trifecta on the first event paid a dividend of 30. Dallas Julius has the form on the board, and it's been very well backed here. Oh, here's Sabunda Bay trying to charge away from the driver, but Neville Walsh has things under control. Dallas Julius by amazing pick from Silver Nymph. Rockley Supreme ran second to that horse at Bendigo by Black Gamecock from Rockley Sal, or Rockley Gal, I should say. Now the pole marker, the one causing some concern here, Gary's Advice. Sabunda Bay is keen to get on with it. In 4, Glenora hasn't lined up properly. First event of the day, won by the favourite Summer Nights, Graham Wilson, 90 and 60, from 8 Made to Skip, 90, and 1 Selectivator, 85. Numbers were 3, 8 and 1. Popular pair here, 11 Dallas Julius from 1 Gary's Advice. Now it's a somewhat better line. Glenora comes up again. Will he wire along? Probably the best line we've had so far. Now he gets the front low line right, and Dallas Julius backs away on 10. Here's another chance. The 2-year-olds, they're still learning, and they're away. Iceland out wide. gradually away from the mark, and getting away roughly too was Bronson. The back marker Dallas Julius paced away pretty well, getting away roughly Run Boy Run, and also Gent Select has gone to the outside fence. And as they settle down, there's another one going roughly, Rockley Supreme. But the early leader unsettling Glenora by about 6 metres to in second placing Gary's Advice. Getting to third after a scratchy start is Iceland around Kung Fu Man. They were about 30 metres in front of Dallas Julius and 8 or 10 metres away Run Boy Run. Starting to pick them up from further back Subunda Bay. Over on the outside Rockley Supreme, 8 metres Gent Select, Willie Wyalong, and Bronson after bluing the start is last. At the judge on the first occasion now, they've got a lap to go and Glenora steadies. 3 metres in front of Gary's Advice second, 5 metres off Kung Fu Man, Iceland, and around them goes the favourite Dallas Julius. Back behind those Run Boy Run, followed by Subunda Bay. Then Rockley Supreme, 3 deep, Gent Select racing very greenly, and further back Willie Wyalong, and they were followed by Bronson. Down the back they travel at the 600, and Gary's Advice dashed to the leader Glenora. Dallas Julius is 7 metres off but grinding home, and then Iceland around Kung Fu Man. I tell you what, Dallas Julius is going to be hard pressed to pick up this leader at the present. At the 400 metre mark, Gary's Advice by about 10 metres in second placing Dallas Julius. The leader's travelling very well. Back third Glenora, followed by Kung Fu Man and Iceland. Then Subunda Bay. Willie Wyalong's not in the hunt at the moment. Heading the others Run Boy Run, but this has got a big break. As they straighten, Gary's Advice 10 metres in front. Dallas Julius is trying hard. It's getting very tired. Gary's Advice drifting to the centre of the course. Dallas Julius is flying home, but Gary's Advice with a big advantage early is going to be too good. Gary's Advice wins the second 2-year-old, nearly 3 metres Dallas Julius. 40 metres away third Iceland. Kung Fu Man next with Glenora. Then a long break in the field to Gent Select and company. Further back Subunda Bay, followed by Bronson, Run Boy Run, and then a long break to Rockley Supreme and Willie Wyalong. Winner of the second event of the day, and the gross time for the event was 1:49.8, constituting a mile rate of 2:5.5. A much faster effort than the previous division. 2:5.5, a very good clip for the 2-year-olds. The winner Gary's Advice by Gary Rowan, Dallas Julius by Amazing Pick, and Iceland by Gaberland. In April, Seagull is another resuming. Hasn't raced since May, and they're set to go. Seagull has paced away with them. Getting away quickly was Mirage Neptune. Out deeper on the track, going fast, Caramere Impression taking it on for the lead, and getting up on the inside, Dallas Brigade. They were followed out deeper on the track by Good to Win, keeping Seagull fairly wide. Getting up along the inside, Dream Free, and they were followed by Heels First, and back by, now there's a galloper. Galloping on that top turn, Dream Free, and so too did Heels First in Sympathy. They were followed back behind those, weaving through the ruck by Ferguson's Gold. Then Kentucky James, and back behind those Apache Red, and they were followed by Classic Rock and Smite Neptune at the tail. Down the straight they race, and the leader is Caramere Impression, but it's now being served up on the outside by Dallas Brigade, who's keen to get around and does so. In behind them, Good to Win, the hot favourite, is racing up but without cover. Getting going again on the inside, Dream Free, followed by Mirage Neptune, and Seagull is in the running line, lying 6 with nothing on its inside. Back behind those then Kentucky James, followed by Heels First, and they were followed then over on the outside by Ferguson's Gold. Smite Neptune's made some ground inside of Apache Red, but it's taking off. Smite Neptune got up onto the back of Heels First and made contact and galloped for a few strides, and taking off Apache Red, going around them 3 deep, and Classic Rock's on its back for a cart up. This has certainly been an action-packed affair as they race up to the top circle again. A lap and a half to travel, and Good to Win heard them coming out wide and went up to the leader Dallas Brigade. Couldn't get around it though. Takes hold and is going to nurse again. In third placing, back behind them, Caramere Impression, 1 out, 1 back, and the Sweet Seat Apache Red. They were followed by Classic Rock, who came up 3 deep, but it too has got into the running line and sits 1 deep on the outside of Dream Free. Back behind those then, getting shunted back, Mirage Neptune with Seagull, about to hook out Kentucky James, and they were followed then back behind those on the inside by Heels First, making headway around them, Ferguson's Gold, and last of all, Smite Neptune. At the judges' circuit to go, and Dallas Brigade Brigade in an action-packed affair shows the way. 3 metres in front of the favourite, Good to Win, who's camped there, ready like a sniper in a big gum tree, ready to fire. Back on the inside, Caramere Impression, and right around them, continuing a run, 3 deep, Kentucky James. Up in the centre with those there, battling on Apache Red. Classic Rock hooking up into the action, followed back behind them by Mirage Neptune. Dream Free was still there, midfield, back behind those, but out wide Ferguson's Gold. Seagull making a move, then Smite Neptune, and Hughes First is last. Off the back at the 400, Good to Win and Dallas Brigade, joined by Kentucky James, but it's flat out. In behind them, Apache Red running on. Classic Rock, Dream Free in the centre, and down on the inside, Caramere Impression, but the leading pair have it, I fancy, as they corner for home. The leader, Dallas Brigade, Good to Win on the outside. Good to Win grinding down Dallas Brigade, and Good to Win is drawing clear from Kentucky James, battling on. Dallas Brigade is raising another effort, but this top liner is going to be too solid. Good to Win. A handy run first up, and he'll go on to much better things. Good to Win scores about a metre. Dallas Brigade a fighting second. Back third, Kentucky James with Apache Red, Classic Rock, and Seagull doing its best work at the finish. Back behind those then came Dream Free. They were followed at fair intervals by Caramere Impression. Even further back then came Mirage Neptune, and tailing out Smite Neptune, well back Ferguson's Gold, and last of all Hughes First. Yes, a good racing in the event. I think Kentucky James will get it just ahead of Apache Red, and we'll confirm the numbers shortly if they are in fact official. 5-1 standing by for this third number. Third number about to come to hand. Now, number 10 has got third Apache
it's Phil
Red,
Castle. It's Phil Castle. Will you
so
come the
numbers
office,
5, 1 and 10. 11 Kentucky James has just weakened on the line to run officially fourth. 5, 1 and 10 official. A metre by 8 metres, 2:58.8. And the time, 2:09.5. A mile rate, 2:09.5. And again, the driver of the winner, Good to Win, Kevin Murray, about to receive his magnum of Penfolds Minchinbury Champagne. And away they trip it, and getting out pretty roughly. Poacher's going to be nearly last on, settling down if not last. One of the best away, Baressa on the inside, Bold Louis, and coming out hard and fast with them now, Vane. Vane is working her way towards the lead, but Baressa is kicking up on the inside to join her, and they follow out in advance now of Fearless Leader third, Bold Louis fourth, Sally Minbar fifth. Back behind those then came along the inside Trial Man, and between runners, Remember Susie. Caught out very deep around them as Copperway gets up on the inside as Cully Cully. Poacher, after being slow away, gets to third last now from Count Maru pulling, and last of all is Elite Rose. Down the straight they travel, and Vane has now worked to the lead. Vane crosses up the running, takes over to the rail about 3 metres in front of Baressa, 12 metres away in third placing Bold Louis, and right around the outside but doing it very hard, Remember Susie. Fearless Leader is content to just sit along there with him and let that one go around him. Back on the inside, Sally Minbar from Trial Man the centre, and Poacher's off 3 deep. A bit of trouble back in the field. Count Maru and Cully Cully seem to make some contact. Count Maru is now off and around them very quickly. Copperway back in the field with Patience. Then Elite Rose, and last of all Cully Cully. Along the back they go, and here, moving around them quickly, Count Maru is about to join the leader, Vane. This will get them hammering up again up front. Vane by 3 metres. He looks across and sees Count Maru coming across. Count Maru works to the leader's wheel. Baressa third. They were followed back behind them by Remember Susie, Sweet Seating. Out deeper on the track, 3 wide is Poacher using plenty of juice. Back between horses, Fearless Leader. Down on the inside, Bold Louis. Off around them, Trial Man 3 deep. Copperway back third last of the main body. With it down on the inside, Sally Minbar. And last of all, Elite Rose, and forget Cully Cully losing further ground. Down the straight they race, and Vane is still the premier position. 3 or 4 metres in front of Baressa and Count Maru. Poacher next out 3 wide, doing it pretty toughly but sticking on. In between horses, Remember Susie. Out wide a Trial Man on the back of Poacher. Down on the inside, Bold Louis. Copperway's out 3 deep but getting a trail home. Fearless Leader the centre, Sally Minbar the rail, and then Elite Rose, and forget Cully Cully. Going to the 6:30 mark on the leader, Vane. By 4 metres, Baressa, then Poacher under the whip. Count Maru struggling. Off around them, Trial Man, and now Copperway being set a question. Then further back, Bold Louis giving ground behind those. Remember Susie, Elite Rose next from Sally Minbar, nowhere to go. And further back behind those, Fearless Leader, Count Maru's gone. At the 400 metre mark, Vane still 3 metres in front of Baressa, Trial Man. Copperway running on only fairly from Poacher. Then Then Elite Rose, who's made up a lot of ground. Copperway working between horses. Then Bold Louis, Remember Susie and Sally Mimbar, but Vane is 5 metres clear. A rails run comes for Demler now on Copperway. Now he has to swing crabwise around the leader Vane. Copperway coming home pretty solidly though. Races up to Vane, grab the lead, and Copperway is starting to draw away. Copperway is going to be much too good. Goes on to win well. Vane is hanging on just for second. Elite Rose down the outside. There's not much between the pair in fact, and Sally Minbar flew home out wide. Close up with them Trial Man, then a gap in the field. Remember Susie, Bold Louis, Baressa, Poacher, Fearless Leader, Count Maru and Cully Cully. Copperway got a dream run on the home turn. Now Elite Rose has got second, number 12. Elite Rose by Bylaw from Faircrest, driven by Ginger Gleeson for trainer R. Grinter. And five is third, Vane by Thor Hanover from Lady Comet, driven by R.J. Long. So they're official, 9, 12 and 5, and fourth home place and 5 Vane $1. Now slight problem here at the start. Strand coming across for Jane's Law. Summer Nights, a most impressive 2-year-old filly performance for her debut. The Colts and Geldings division was run in slick time by Gary's advice defeating Dallas Julius. Again, a very large crowd here on Kilmore Cup Day. Weather conditions are pretty well ideal at the moment. It's very mild. And provided rain keeps away, it should be a great afternoon sport to follow. Starters still holding them. Big Score inching up. Nice big strong chestnut. Off this time, and he stood there flat-footed. Must have been listening. Jane's Law got away quickly. Missing the start too was Meta Time, and a bit slow to begin, taking its time to balance Smooth Gear. On the other hand, one of the best away, taking up the early running, is Frisco Dazzle from Darren's Caper. They were followed back behind those now by Bacardi Kid, getting around Rygo Lad, who'll settle fourth and probably in the running line with the trail. Back in behind those then, as they sort themselves out, Anthel Sands, Visual the inside, Wilsonian on the inside of Smooth Gear. Back behind those, Big Score on the outside of Meta Time, and Jane's Law off the 10-metre mark is just ambling along at the tail. Down the straight they run on the initial occasion, and the leader going along pretty keenly. Frisco Dazzle 4 metres in front of, in second placing Darren's Caper. Bacardi Kid is forced to carve the breeze. He might get a trail eventually though, because Smooth Gear is working up 3 wide. In between horses, Rygo Lad at the moment is 1-1, but it'll end up 3 back as this other one goes around them. Visual on its inside. Meta Time down on the inside of Anthel Sands from Wilsonian, who's in the running line. Nothing on its inside, and third last. Second last, the big chestnut Big Score, and 4 away last of all is Jane's Law. Down the back, and Smooth Gear has taken the dickens of a time to get up to the lead, but eventually crosses over and joins the leader Frisco Dazzle, and now takes hold and sits at its wheel. In third placing, Darren's Caper on the inside of Bacardi Kid, and Rygo Lad has ended up 3 back in the running line outside of Visual. Anthel Sands outside Meta Time, still third last, and racing solo in the running line is Wilsonian. Big Score second last, and Jane's Law last of all. 11 1/4 to go as they start to swing for the bell now, and Frisco Dazzle has been the leader throughout. Here's Anthel Sands easing up to them 3 deep. In second placing, Smooth Gear, but it's done plenty of work. Back along the inside, running now on the rail is Darren's Caper. Now here's Wilsonian and Big Score starting to join in 3 deep. They're getting trails up on the back of Anthel Sands. Race starting to shape up now at the Judges Circuit out, where Frisco Dazzle joined on the outside by Anthel Sands. Wilsonian got a trail up 3 wide and joins them. Smooth Gear in between horses under pressure from Darren's Caper, the rail, and Visual next, followed by Bacardi Kid. Big Score out 3 wide is struggling to keep up. Then Meta Time, Rygo Lad got shunted back, and Jane's Law. Down the back they go, and nearly a trio. Frisco Dazzle 1.5 metres in front of Anthel Sands, 1 metre away out wide. Wilsonian sticking on. Darren's Caper next, Smooth Gear under pressure. Bacardi Kid wanting a run. Big Score labouring out 3 deep. Back on the inside, Visual, then Meta Time. In the centre, Rygo Lad, and 3 wide, Jane's Law. Wilsonian still hasn't got to this leader though. Frisco Dazzle again 3 metres in front of Anthel Sands. Darren's Caper wanting a run, and Wilsonian starting to struggle. Then Smooth Gear followed further back by Visual, and then came back behind the Meta Time. Rygo Lad, and then Bacardi Kid. It's Frisco Dazzle in front. Wilsonian is making another effort. Wilsonian getting to Frisco Dazzle, who's still in front though. Frisco Dazzle hanging on, and he's seen it out. Frisco Dazzle went on to score from Wilsonian. Tight for the minors. Darren's Caper all about 4 wide. Smooth Gear stuck on. Visual and Anthel Sands between them, and Rygo Lad got held up and flew down the outside clear of Bacardi Kid, Jane's Law, Meta Time, and Big Score. Standing by for official numbers here, you'll find that and they're away in the Trotters Cup, and one of the best away and going quickly, Byron Hanover, but then put in a short skip, and Port Jet has missed it badly. Port Jet is a conspicuous last on settling down, and I don't think he's going to have much hope the way he's performing at the moment. He's refusing to trot. He's just starting to find a stride, and Byron Hanover likewise. On the other hand, one of the best to begin was Special Dollar. From over on the outside, Christian Leslie, who came off the 20 as though it was shanghaied out. Back behind those then, I'm a Redleg, who's going up around the outside of Marshall Smoke. They were followed back on the inside by Spin Attack, and over on the outside High Jerry, and caught 3 wide early Ilkadobes. Back behind those Proud Stella and Silken, and 50 metres away Port Jet trotting around Byron Hanover. At the judge, they've got 3 long Kilmore laps to go in the Tasman Trotters Cup, and Special Dollar is 2 metres in advance now of in second placing I'm a Redleg. Back third on the inside Christian Leslie. 1 out, 1 back. Spin Attack is getting a charmed run. Back on the inside of him is Marshall Smoke, and they were followed by the veteran mare Silken, who's got up on the inside to join High Jerry from Proud Stella Ilkadobes, and they slacken up front, and this allows Port Jet to tack up to them, and further back Byron Hanover about to do the same. Along the back they go, and heading down towards the top circle again, and Special Dollar being in front from the outset by 4 metres to Christian Leslie, who made a real short mess of that 20-metre handicap and is up there lying second and doing it well early. Marshall Smoke is third, followed by I'm a Redleg, and back behind those then, over on the outside Spin Attack, who's reefing the head just a fraction. Back behind them High Jerry on the outside of Silken, and they were followed by Proud Stella. Ilkadobes next, and Port Jet outside of Byron Hanover. Into the straight now, 2 1/4 to go, and the leader Special Dollar racing to the judge once again, has been there from the outset. 3 metres in front of in second placing on the inside running Christian Leslie, again in Indian file third Marshall Smoke. Over on the outside Spin Attack, and down on the inside now the Beetroot Stomper I'm a Redleg. Over on the outside High Jerry is now 1 by 1. Silken down on the inside, the game old mare lying on the rail. Outside of her the other mare Proud Stella. Ilkadobes on the outside, down on the inside of Ilkadobes Byron Hanover, and the Port Jet is last of all. Into the back they go, a lap and 3/4 to go in the Tasman Trotters Cup for 1980, and Special Dollar has snuck away slightly. Almost 4 metres Christian Leslie, and Spin Attack left without cover. Goes up working to third, and Marshall Smoke is anxious to get off the rail, but High Jerry's on his wheel and keeping him there. I'm a Redleg held up inside of Proud Stella, and then further back Silken inside Ilkadobes. 4 metres off Port Jet, and last of all Byron Hanover, and Port Jet is about to be asked a question, but will have to do it very tough from back second last. On the top circle they've got just over a lap and 1/4 to go in the Tasman Trotters Cup, and Special Dollar still the leader by 3 metres over Christian Leslie second. Spin Attack, who's racing up into third placing, followed by High Jerry, who's got a nice run 1 by 1. Down on the inside of him is Marshall Smoke, and then I'm a Redleg buried away inside Proud Stella. She's a tough sticking mare, and she'll grind home. Then Ilkadobes followed by Silken, who's been shuffled back to third last. Port Jet second last and still hasn't made his claim, and Byron Hanover is last of all. We'll see a move shortly as they run inside the belt of the 700, and the leader Special Dollar attempting to win the cup throughout by 3 metres over Spin Attack, who's cruising up to second. Christian Leslie held up third. Port Jet's off from the rear of the field with his quick sprint, and coming with him Ilkadobes puts him 4 deep, and Proud Stella's off 3 deep ahead of him too. He could be about 5 deep on the top circle here, Port Jet, and it won't suit him, I wouldn't think. At the 400 off the back, the leader Special Dollar, he's hanging Port Jet. Spin Attack's claim Special Dollar. In behind them, Proud Stella grinding home. Christian Leslie gets a run. High Jerry's gone. Port Jet is labouring out 5 deep. Byron Hanover's keeping him out there with Ilkadobes. High Jerry followed by Marshall Smoke, Silken, and I'm a Redleg. But the leader Special Dollar. Spin Attack on the outside's claiming it now though. Then Christian Leslie and Proud Stella running on, but it's Spin Attack for the Tasman Trotters Cup. Spin Attack reined up by Demler's coming away, and Spin Attack goes on to score 4 metres. Special Dollar a game run. He tried to lead throughout and held on for second. Good go for third. Christian Leslie, Marshall Smoke and Silken there together. Then Proud Stella, who weakened on her run home from Ilkadobes, Byron Hanover, Port Jet, High Jerry, and I'm a red leg last of all in the Tasman Trotters Cup for 1980. Spin attack number 6. The winner, number 6, Spin Attack, T. Demler. Number 5, Special Dollar A. Simons. And third, number 11, Judes, Mr. Alan Pearson. They're just about ready now. They line up. Brer Rabbit a bit toey. So is Our Good Man getting restless. Set and away, and Our Good Man paced away fairly, getting out very quickly. Westburn View, Kotari Knight was a bit scratchily away, as about third on settling with Lena Vale Lad and Brer Rabbit. Back behind those, Brad Adios has missed the start and is a conspicuous last, and Pure Steel away safely. On settling down, here's a charge around the field. Lena Vale Lad working to the wheel of the leader, Westburn View. Our Good Man third on the inside. Over on the outside, one out, one back, Kotari Knight. Back behind those, Brer Rabbit on the outside of Taronga, 7 metres, Lee Sands, 12 metres away, then Freedom Day. Then Margaret Shannon on the outside of Sheffield Thor, who's being bustled along, 7 metres away, then to Pure Steel, and 35 to 40 metres, Brad Adios not in the race at the judge on the first occasion. 3 circuits to go in the 1980 Kilmore Cup, and Westburn View, the ex-New Zealand mare, 4 metres in front of Kotari Knight, who's caught without cover on the outside now. Down on the inside, Our Good Man, and Lena Vale Lad is sweet seating. On the inside of Lena Vale Lad came Taronga, 4 metres, Brer Rabbit with nothing on his inside. Likewise behind him then came Sheffield Thor, rather back up ahead of those, then came Lee Sands, and then down on the inside Freedom Day, Margaret Shannon, Sheffield Thor, and Pure Steel, and safely forget about Brad Adios, he's tailed off. Racing to the top circle they travel again, 2.5 laps to go, and the leader Westburn View by 3 metres, Kotari Knight forced to race without cover and is forced to do it pretty toughly outside the leader's wheel. Snookered up onto the back of the leader is Our Good Man, but travelling well within itself apparently. Lena Vale Lad is sweet seating, 1 out, 1 back on the outside of Taronga. Freedom Day getting up on the inside to join Brer Rabbit, then Lee Sands followed by Margaret Shannon. Second last of the main body is Sheffield Thor, and last of all as they race to the judge, 2 circuits to go, is Pure Steel. And forget about Brad Adios, it's not his day. At the judge, 2 laps to travel, and Westburn View is doing it very, very sweetly for Vicky Frost. By 3 metres over Kotari Knight, second, and third. Our Good Man still travelling well within itself, third. Then Lena Vale Lad, 1 outside Taronga. Brer Rabbit on the outside of Freedom Day, 4 metres away Lee Sands, 6 metres away Margaret Shannon, 7 metres away Sheffield 4, and 3 away outside of her Pure Steel. Down the back they go. They've got just over 1.5 laps to go in the 1980 Kilmore Cup, and Westburn View is pulling away 4 of 5 metres clear. In second place in Kotari Knight, inching up again to the wheel. Back on the inside Our Good Man, and then Lena Vale Lad, Taronga the inside 5th, and they were followed by Brer Rabbit 6th. Back 7th on the inside Freedom Day, followed then by Lee Sands, Margaret Shannon single filing. Back behind her in single file Sheffield Thor, and Pure Steel I think is about to be popped a big question. Racing to the judge, the bell sounding now, and Westburn View pulling away along about 3 metres in front of Kotari Knight, who's throwing down a gauntlet. Back third Our Good Man, Lena Vale Lad 1 by 1 and running up to a place. Then Brer Rabbit around Taronga, Lee Sands followed by Freedom Day. Pure Steel hasn't sprinted yet. Margaret Shannon third last, second last Sheffield Thor. Pure Steel's labouring. Down the back they go at the 600. Kotari Knight within 1 metre of Westburn View, and they're both revving overdrive. Back fourth behind them Our Good Man, locked up on the inside of Lena Vale Lad. 10 metres away Brer Rabbit, Lee Sands followed then by Freedom Day. Further back Pure Steel out in no man's land, running on only fairly. Off the back they go, heading to the 300. Westburn View pulling out plenty a metre in front of Kotari Knight, who's grinding and nagging away. Back behind them Our Good Man, Lena Vale Lad is going to come with a sprint from Lee Sands joining in. Kotari Knight joins Westburn View. Our Good Man can't get a run, and Lena Vale Lad down the outside, and Pure Steel is flying. Here comes the Tungsten Terror. Lena Vale Lad in front. Pure Steel is jumping out of the ground. Lena Vale Lad in front. Pure Steel can't get him though, and Brian Gath wins his She's second, Kilmore Cup on Lena Vale at big odds. Pure Steel second, Qatari Knight and Our Good Man, nothing between them third. Westburn View pulled a bit hard early and ran out of puff in the last 100. Lee Sam's a big run, Freedom Day, Brer Rabbit, Sheffield Thor, Margaret, Shannon, Taronga and Brad Arios are conspicuous and distant last in the 1980 Kilmore Cup. Lena Vale Lad, Drink Vale Lad. Number 4, Lena Vale Lad by Pippa from Maduro's Lass, and a jubilant wave with the whip from Brian Gaff. A 5-year-old Bay Gelding raced by Mr. B.W. Callow. Number 13, second, Pure Steel, and a photo again for third. Number 13, Pure Steel by Toledo Hanover.
The first leg of the extra double, the mobile commences to roll at the top of the straight. Nylama the inside, Adios Nero. Barrier number 2, that's Field Orphan. 3 from the outside of the front row. And they're just about set to run. Horizon on the second row.
Arms fold in and they're off and rolling now, and Field Orphan away fairly. He's racing up towards the lead. The first out was Adios Nero. Coming at the winning post with 2 to go, and it's Adios Nero in front of Exford Petto, the setter. Field Orphan is 3 wide, and then Nylama over on the inside. The Grey Minute Boy is caught out wide. Volariki gets up on the setter, followed by Underrated. Then Melvin Caramir on the outside of Horizon, and about 6 metres away last of all is Kellen Time as they run down the back at the 1400. And the leader Adios Nero taken on by Field Orphan on the outside, and the favourites worked up into the breeze. Third on the inside is Nylama, 1 out and 1 back as Exford Petto, followed by Underrated the inside. A metre or so then came Volariki on the outside, 2 metres Melvin Caramir. Horizon sliding up on the inside, third last, next to last Killing Time, and the Grey Minute Boy whipped them in as they race off the back straight, about 1,050 to go. And down on the inside it's Adios Nero, the leader of the last start, Harold Park winner by 2 metres. On the outside and in the death is Field Orphan. Third on the inside came Nylama, who's bottled up at the moment. 1 out, 1 back as Exford Petto. They were followed by Underrated on the inside, then Horizon, Volariki. 3 metres Melvin Caramir, Minute Boy second last, and Killing Time last. Well, the bell sounds across the track now, about 850 metres to go, and Adios Nero showed the way. About 2 metres to Field Orphan on the outside, who's travelled well with it in itself, the favourite. Third on the inside is Nylama, 1 out and 1 back Exford Petto. Now Dennis Wells is off around the outside on Melvin Caramir, but Dolly Dove pulled out on Volariki and pushed him wide. Horizon back on the inside, just up in front of them, Underrated, followed by Minute Boy and last Killing Time. Into the back of the 600, Adios Nero by 2 metres, Field Orphan. Nylama third on the inside. They were followed by Exford Petto. Further back on the inside came Underrated in the centre, Volariki, Melvin Caramir right off the track. In the centre, Minute Boy, followed by Horizon and Killing Time last of all. Inside the 400 metre mark, Adios Nero, 2 metres to Field Orphan on the outside. The leader broken, Nylama fell back into its lap, and right around the outside is Volariki joining in 3 deep, and Melvin Caramir right on the outside. At the top of the straight, 250 out, Adios Nero tackled by Field Orphan. They were followed by Volariki, Melvin Caramir looked gone, Nylama the inside. Field Orphan racing up to Adios Nero. It's done it hard, the favourite. It's got its head in front. On the outside, Field Orphan put its head in front, close to home. They hit the line. I reckon it might have kicked back, Adios Nero. Field Orphan broke on the line. Adios Nero and nose Field Orphan. Close for third between Nylama, Exford Petto, then Volariki, Melvin Caramir. Underrated right on the outside from Killing Time, Minute Boy, and one of the last in was Horizon.
It was pretty evident on the film that Adios Nero kicked again. Field Orphan broke right near the line, and number 2 Adios Nero got the photo. Number 2 Adios Nero the winner.
Raced by G. Grant and J.S. Grant and driven by G. Grant. A sensational finish. Number 4 Field Orphan by Field Spring from Dollar, trained and driven by K. Murray. Number 1 Third Nylama by Berry Hanover from Binnaburra, driven by Alf Simons, and Volariki was 4th. The time 2:50.
Now the second leg of the double start about to come up. Pine Crest has drawn barrier number 3 on the front row. Star Legion drawn the inside of the mobile. Is a very big drifter in the race. Diamond Bird drawn 3 from the outside as a chancy beginner.
Light on, and they're off and racing now, and Hello Diamond Bird was galloping badly at the start. It's dropping out to last, and Gay Fandango won the go, but Mars off on Crystal Glenmar, and the odds-on favourite has raced up to join Gay Fandango. Pinecrest has settled third on the inside, right about 4 metres to Socialist. 8 metres Star Legion coming off the fence, and wide around the outside Misty Rowan. Brewer's Own back on the inside, there's Ultra Boy. It ran into the back of Misty Rowan and broke momentarily. 5 or 6 metres to Credit Win, and after a bad getaway there, Diamond Bird is 40 metres away last. Into the back straight they go, 1200 out. And up on the outside, going fast, Socialist has raced to Gay Fandango. And Socialist on the outside, 2 metres, Gay Fandango, and Evans is driving for the lead. 20 metres to the favourite, Crystal Glenmar third. Then Pinecrest getting into the action, followed by Star Legion around the outside. Then Brewer's Own back on the fence, 10 metres, Misty Rowan. 6 or 8 metres to Ultra Boy, followed by Credit Win. And 20 metres to Diamond Bird. 1,000 metres to go at the top of the straight, and he succeeded in getting across to the rails. On Socialist, it showed out 4 metres, Gay Fandango. 6 metres, Crystal Glenmar third. 10 metres to Pinecrest, and Gathy's going up on the outside. He tried to sneak a dove in there, and he did too. And Dovey's over on the inside now. On Pinecrest and the Shadow Roller, Star Legion goes around them. 4 metres, Brewer's Own, about 8 metres, Ultra Boy, Misty Rowan, Credit Win, and Diamond Bird whipped them in. Into the back straight, 6.50 out now in the second leg of the double, and Socialist the leader. But can he stick? And I don't think so, because they're starting to attack him now. Gay Fandango second on the inside, and Star Legion's gone up fast around the outside. Pinecrest will be hard to beat if it ever gets a run, and Crystal Glenmar. Mara's driven this a copybook race. It's 1 out and 1 back. 6 metres away on the outsiders, Brewer's Own, followed by Ultra Boy. Then Misty Rowan, a gap to Credit Win, and Diamond Bird is last. Off the back straight they travel about 300 metres to go, and Socialist about 5 metres to go to Pinecrest, who's now out in the clear. Gay Fandango the outside. They were followed by Star Legend, and the favourite Crystal Glenmar is struggling at the top of the straight. Socialist grabbed by Pinecrest. The favourite Crystal Glenmar is starting to dive between horses. Gay Fandango out wide, and Ultra Boy getting a split, but Pinecrest the leader, and Pinecrest is going on to win 2 metres. Ultra Boy, photo for third, Crystal Glenmar a half head, Gay Fandango, then Socialist followed further back by Misty Rowan, then Credit Win followed by Brewer's Own, Star Legend, and Diamond Bird. You'll find the winner will be Pinecrest, number 3, driven by DV Dove. Number 3, Pinecrest, driven by DV Dove, the winner. Second placing will go to Ultra Boy, getting up on the inside rail, and third placing to go to number 6, Crystal Glenmar. Will be placings after race 9.
Just weakening a little, getting to the line just behind them. 3, 9 and 6 official. They're starting to move. Final event, Kilmore Cup, day 1980. Look like going, and one of them missing it badly, Durain. And away they trip, and best out Radiant Gyro, being taken on out very deep on the track by Adios Rockefeller, who's come across hard and fast, and Adios Rockefeller takes up the running. Radiant Gyro traps second now on the leader's back, and on its outside is Rengari. Back behind those then came, as they go to the back, Idle Sandy, 1 out, 1 back. Getting up on the inside, Tugboat, and they were followed further back in the field by Adios Peerless, and back behind them Dunbar Lass on the inside of Darren's Chief. Further back in the field then Swift and Easy, and last of all tacking up Durain, but doing it hard to do so. Along the back they go, and the leader Adios Rockefeller by 3 metres. Rengari has got the fancied run on its inside. Radiant Gyro badly pocketed away. In behind those Idle Sandy on the outside, Tugboat the rail, and they were followed by Adios Peerless, then Dunbar Lass on the inside of on its outside Darren's Chief, followed by Swift and Easy, and last of all on the top circle again Durain. The leader still Adios Rockefeller as they complete a lap and come down the straight. It shows the way. 3 metres in front of Rengari, who won't move for his dear life from there, but he's got his immediate threat in the betting. Locked away on the inside, Radiant Gyro. As they race down with a lap to go, Idle Sandy 1 by 1 down on the inside, Tugboat. They were followed over on the outside by Adios Peerless, and then came Dunbar Lass, followed by Darren's Chief. Swift and Easy and Durain is last of all. Into the back they go, and the leader still is on the inside, Adios Rockefeller by 2 metres over in second placing, Rengari, who's travelling well. Radiant Gyro's got little hope of a run at the moment. On the outside, Idle Sandy. Here's a move. Darren's Chief coming with Swift and Easy around Adios Peerless. Tugboat the rail, then Dunbar Lass and Durain down the back, and Rengari moves up on the outside, but joined by Darren's Chief, who sprinted very quickly. On the inside, Adios Rockefeller. She can't get a run anywhere on Radiant Gyro. Idle Sandy on its outside, but the leader, Darren's Chief, sprinted clear. 4 metres, Rengari, followed by Idle Sandy, and then Then came on the inside Adios Rockefeller. Radiant Garo still can't get out from Adios Peerless, but the bird might have flown. Darren's Chief straight in 5 metres. Rengari, who's trying hard. Adios Peerless has got Radiant Garo badly. Pass it up. Rengari out after Darren's Chief. It's Darren's Chief in front of Rengari, followed by Idle Sandy. Rengari getting to Darren's Chief. Rengari joined by Idle Sandy. Here's a great finish photo. Oh, Idle Sandy, if anything. Idle Sandy, if anything, if not a dead heat with Rengari, and close up third, Darren's Chief. Radiant Gyro climbing over them with Dunbar Lass, Adios Peerless, followed by Tugboat. Back behind them, Durain, Adios Rockefeller knocked up, and Swift and Easy. Well, there's a good finish to wind up Kilmore Cup Day. Rengari got to the other one. And the third number, number 9, Darren's Chief, driven by V Knight. Number 10, Idle Sandy by Honest Master from Petite Girl, trained and driven by Graham Lang for KG and LM Turner, a 5-year-old of Bay Gelding.